Today's video is all about the breeder pens and DMP pens. I got a book here. I'm going to show you some bird eye view, drone views of the pens, little detail, more background about them. That's here in the book. Then we're going to head over to the breeder pens as well as the DMP pens. Check out the deer, check out the whole system, show you the inside and out, why I do it, and everything else. It's going to be a good video today. If you're brand new to the channel, my name is DuPont. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you would, double tap like this video as well as hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate that. And with that, we're going to get right into today's video. So you might be asking in front of me, what do I got in front of me here? Well, it's a big old binder filled with about 100 papers. And it is everything from permits, regulations, rules about my deer breeder pens, my DMP pens. It's all in this book right here. Now, before we go any further into the book, I want to just explain why I'm in the deer breeding business. Why do I have pens? Why do I breed deer in general? Well, my ranch, D-Tex Whitetails, we're on 2,000 acres here, high fence, 2,000 acres. And the reason why I got into the deer breeding business was first just for a hobby. I love the whitetail deer, just watching them, being able to observe them every day, watching them eat, watching them get water. I love watching the whitetail deer from when it's born all the way to when it dies, mature, age, and just the process within that. And I just absolutely love watching deer grow. It's something that I'm really passionate about. So that's the first main thing. Secondly, I breed deer to help enhance the genetics on my own property. Deer that are in my pen, some of them will eventually be let out into the pasture and they'll be able to breed naturally. There's different words for it, but if you're letting out a buck, they call it a stalker buck or a pasture buck. When you let it out into the pasture, it breeds wildly. It's part of the pasture now. And it just helps better genetic the property, better genetic your herd. You're going to see a lot bigger deer faster by doing this process. And then the third reason I do it is for business-wise. I have not sold any deer yet. I'm still getting to that process. But for business-wise, for not for just me making money, but for also helping other ranchers, other deer breeders get into either the industry or help improve the genetics on their property. So I got, like I said, pasture or stalker bucks. I'll bring them over to their property, whether they want to put them in a DMP pen or they want to let them out into their pasture. I will do that kind of stuff. How we're going to dive right into this, we're going to start with the breeder pens, and I'm going to show you just an overview, a drone bird's eye view of the pens from the air, so you guys can kind of get a view of what that looks like. So right here, here's your bird's eye drone view Google Earth image of my breeder pens. As you can see, I have 10 pens. So as you see there, we got two giant ones, number 1 and number 2. Those are basically 2 pens put together to make them into 1 pen. Those are absolutely giant pens. A1, y'all know A1, right? A1, all of his fawns and the does that he bred are in that first number 1 pen right now. So that's where they're at right now. As you can see down here, we have 10 pens. The purple, the circle is food. The triangle is water. The little square white rectangle thing, that is where the cover, that's where the big covers are for these animals to be able to go to get out of the heat. So as you can see, we got food here, there's water there, food there, water there, food there, water there. As you can see, every pen has food, every pen has water. Covers, we do not have covers for every pen. I'm still working on that to get every pen to have covers. But as you can see on both sides there, we got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pens so far that have covers, so that's pretty good. We have 1 strip, this big strip right here, this white line. You can drive right through here. It's a great way to be able to check your pens, get inside your pens, at least for this section here. For these 2, you actually got to go around to the back side. There's 2 doors where you can get inside those pens. But it's nice to have this little strip alley for anything goes wrong or if you're transferring deer. That's really great to have. I felt like this is really handy for us to have, just to be able to get an overview of what our pens look like, as well for y'all. Gives y'all a better view of what it looks like. So of course, all my deer, my breeder pens, they're tagged, they got a unique number on them, they're tattooed on the back, and they're registered in the book for Texas Park and Wildlife to see. Everything's registered. That is very important that everything's registered, so they know what you have in your pens, what exactly you have in each pen. They want really specific stuff when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that is my breeder pens up there. Then we have 2 DMP pens, and DMP stands for Deer Management Pen. And what that is, every year in October, we will rent a helicopter and we will fly over the ranch and we will net 20 does for each pen. So that's a total of 40 does, right? They will be put into those pens. 20 of them we will tag. with green tags to shoot that fallen year. The other 20 we will not tag, just keep some natural. Oh yeah, we'll fly around, we'll catch 40 does, and we'll put them into those pens. We will then dart anywhere from 1 to 2 bucks per pen. We usually keep it at 1. Sometimes we do 1 buck for one pen, and we do 2 bucks for the other pen. And those bucks will breed all those does that are inside that pen. In the wild, a buck will only breed 1 to 1.5 does every year, right? So you're only gonna get maybe 1, maybe 2 fawns from that buck a year. When you put that buck inside of a pen with 20 does, there's a chance for 20 all the way, if every doe had twins, 40 fawns from that buck. That is huge when it comes to changing the genetics on your ranch, improving the genetics on your ranch. And so you might be thinking, what buck do you put in there? Well, you always want to put your biggest, most beautiful, your favorite buck that you have for that coming year. That's why scouting is very important in August, September, November, finding that right bucks that you want to put into that pen. This year we put Soldier. Here's a photo of Soldier. Soldier went into that top pen. And then we put Bulletproof. Here's a photo of Bulletproof. And ATM. Here's a photo of ATM. And my other DMP pen in the back. So those 3 giant deer bred 40 does, and we're gonna have a chance to have anywhere from 40 to 60 offsprings from those bucks that are currently running out in the wild. If you want to see the video where I opened up my DMP pens, click the link right here. I'll put it right here, or I'll put it in the link in the description. Check that out. It's pretty cool. It was a heck of a process. But I would definitely check that out if you're interested in this kind of stuff. Any of the videos, honestly, about deer breeding, all that kind of stuff. I got some on my YouTube right now. But they're out running the wild right now. All the bucks are out in the wild. All the does are out in the wild. And they're all pregnant with those 3 big bucks genetics. So here's the overview, bird's eye view of my DMP pens. Right down here below, those are the breeder pens like I showed you earlier, the 10 pens that we got here. And then just right over there is one of my DMP pens. It's 7 acres, as y'all can see. It's kind of triangle shaped, and it just works perfectly for us. It's big enough to hold 20 does plus 1 or 2 bucks, and it's just been working out for us. So that's one of our first DMP pens. Like I said, we're gonna head over there. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit on what that looks like in real life. But that's just a bird's eye view. As you see, we got food, we got cover, we got water. Shows you where the gates are. Fence to be removed. That was something that we had to do a long time ago. But that's what that one looks like. Moving forward, what we got next? This, basically, I mean, as y'all can see, I'm not gonna pull it out, but I mean, papers of rules and regulations. But I just want to show y'all just some stuff that are inside this pamphlet. Talks about permits, renewal application, track your deaths if any of the deer die, unique numbers, transfer permits, release of deer in order to close a breeder facility for trying to sell it, transfer the permit to one breeder to another. There's a bunch of questions in here. Guys, take a look at this. This is probably 50 papers here. Bunch of different acts of 1958. It gets detailed. What happens if I fail to meet the criteria for a MUMIT qualified? What if I sell deer to a producer in another state? When do I need to keep tracking of my deaths? How and what samples do I collect? That's for registration. Where do I send samples for testing? What info needed for tissue samples? As you get it, there's a bunch of stuff in here. All right, so that's enough talk for the actual paper kind of stuff. Don't want to bore y'all too much. Thank y'all for listening that are still watching. What we're gonna start the breeder pens, then we'll go to the front DMP pen, then we'll go to the back DMP pen. We'll get some corn as well so we can feed these deer. It's in the afternoon anyway, so they gotta eat. So that's the deal. Y'all stay tuned and hope y'all enjoy. Here's the front part of my pens. Remember that pass through I was talking about where you can ride through? That is that section right through there. But before I ever do anything, I always come over here and turn off the electric fence. That is very important. This thing right here, it's electric when that's hot. This is electric when this is on. This is hot. This is to prevent any bobcats from climbing up. We got the coyote predator wire in the bottom. We got everything. It's attached to a battery, which is attached to a solar panel, attached to the actual electric fence. We're actually gonna go inside. I'm gonna show y'all some of the water systems that I got set up. Show you some of the back pens like number 4, number 5, stuff like that. They got no deer in them right now. Eventually we'll get to A1 and his all fawns at the end of this video. But for right now, we're gonna head inside. I'm gonna show you some of the details, more details inside some of the pens. As you see right here, we got a water trough. There's no deer in here right now. Remember I said Ace and Hercules are in these 2 pens. We're gonna go down to the back here. And this is the pen that I wanna go in. So currently no deer in here either, but there actually was a lot of deer in here. A1 used to be in here with all of his does before we transferred them. We will actually transfer all those does and A1 back into this exact pen here like May, so they can breed. I absolutely love this pen for breeding because first, the grass gets super high, so these fawns, they can hide in it during the summer, keep them cool, as well as there's a lot of trees, a lot of shade for these deer to hide under. So we come over here. There obviously should not be any protein in here because there's no deer in here right now. As you see, they are empty. All right, nothing in there, but we have 3 for the regular size deer, and then we got 1 for the fawns. As you see, it's a lot smaller. Fawns need that protein as well as on the other side. We got 1 for the fawns, and we got 3 for the regular size deer. So that's my big protein feeder. And then right here, here's one of my water troughs. Honestly, it's pretty clean. Not gonna lie, for no maintenance on this water trough, because there's no deer in here for now, it's pretty clean. Like I can see the bottom. We looks like we have a, oh no, that's not a leak. I thought that was a leak, but it's just overflowing. We're good. But we did have a couple leaks because of that storm that came, busted a couple pipes. So that one looks pretty good. We use this for feed occasionally when it rains and stuff, or if we run out, we can just throw feed in there real fast, but we barely even use this thing. I might take it down, I don't know. And one more thing, all the pens are the same when it comes to the feed wise and the water trough wise. They both got that same kind of feed. They both got that same kind of water trough. Some actually have 2 water troughs because the summer months, the sun, the heat evaporates the water really fast. All right, so that's that pen there. Y'all probably wanting to go see A1's pen, so we'll go over there real fast before we go to the DMP pens. You always want to make sure, lock your gates. I know there's no deer in here right now, but you do not want your deer getting out. All right, so we're at the pen with A1, his does and fawns. So you can see there's some right here. They're so hungry right now. There's a doe right there. There's a fawn. We're gonna go ahead. We got some corn. And I'm gonna put you on the tripod and y'all can just see some of these deer walk in. I'm gonna try to get a shot of A1 if I can. We'll see what happens. So those were the breeder pens. As y'all saw, some of those deer had tags in them, some of them didn't. All the deer with tags in them, those were all the does. The deer that did not have tags in them, as y'all saw, they were smaller. Those are all the fawns. Those are the fawns. Those are the deer that we're going to be darting, we're going to be tagging, we're going to be tattooing, and we're going to be transferring to different pens. We're at the first DMP pen. I decided to go to the one in the back first. This is what it looks like. This one is 8 acres big. Big old gate for these deer to go in and out, for our Polarises and our trucks to go in and out when we're doing maintenance. We got predator wire going all the way around. We had a bad incident here 2 years ago when we first put this up. We didn't put the predator wire out and we had coyotes get in and they killed 12 of our does. It was bad, but that is that. We got this up now, and this year it was great. We had no deer that died. Here's the trough. We fill this up occasionally with food when we need to. Of course, there's no deer in here now, so we don't need it filled. And this is the main protein source, food source that they got in here. This should be empty as well. Oh no, this is full. Okay. Oh yeah, we got some food in here. I'm surprised these are all filled. I guess the ranch manager must have filled these. I mean, these deer are still going in and out, so I guess they could still eat this stuff. Well, that's good to know. We have a trough on the inside and the outside.
We have a watering holder that we decided not to dig underground, put underground. We decided to keep it above ground. There's actually a pipe that leads here, and when there's deer in here, we make a little pond. As you see, pipe here leads to the water that actually empties out into this little pond section. That's basically it for this D&P pen. They're really easy to make. All you need, 7 acres, that's the minimum. You need food source, water source, your pen, your gate, your high fence, right? Your predator wire, and that's basically it. There's a lot of coverage in here, and it works. Leave them alone, let them breed, then let them out. Like I said, if you want to see that video where I actually open these gates, let these deer out, it's pretty good. I'll put it down in the link description. Y'all should check that out, as long as some of the other videos as well. But yeah, that's the pen in the back. We're gonna go to the D&P pen in the front. It's very, very similar. It's actually our older one. We've had that one for, gosh, 15 years now, so it's a lot older than this one. But we're gonna head to the front of the ranch, and I'll show y'all that one. Right, we are at the other D&P pen in the front of the ranch here. I'm gonna go ahead, turn this baby around. As you can see, it's just not as nice as that one in the back. It's still nice, but you can see the entranceway is a lot more older compared to the one in the back. Not as big as a gate. You walk in, we got a food trough here. We got a watering trough here. Of course, there's no deer in here right now. Well, technically there could be deer in here because they could walk back and forth, but there's a good chance that there's no actual deer in here. And then right up here is where we keep the protein, where we keep our food. Dang, this thing is almost empty. Look at that. You can barely see the feed right there. Yeah, we also got record rack protein in here as well. So this thing's loaded up. And this is the pen that Soldier was in. So he had all 20 does by himself. And we let him out probably, man, when did I do that video? Probably 3 weeks ago. Like I said, that video, y'all go check it out. Other than that, that is about it. These are the D&P pens. That is the breeder pen. If y'all have any questions about anything, pens, ranch in general, literally anything, drop it down in the comments below. I'll gladly answer it. Maybe I'll do a video over a whole bunch of comments, questions if y'all have them. But other than that, that is it for today's video. I'll be hog hunting tonight. Stay tuned for that video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. Hit that sub button, like this video, and until then, I'll see y'all in that next video. Peace.